Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folarin. Two friends with me this morning, Dare Odufowokan of the Nation newspaper, and Barrister Liborous Oshoma, political affairs analyst. Gentlemen, thank you as always for showing up again today. It's because of the rumor. That's why I grabbed you guys. It's because of the rumor. I grabbed you guys. The rumor is that the president has sent back the bill, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill to the National Assembly, and so far in the National Assembly, there hasn't been any confirmation. Spokesmen have said that, well, we should know about it if indeed that is the case, but so far we don't know anything. Hence, we dub it a rumor. But in our society, especially in our polity, there are those who have the feeling that when a thing is about to happen, this is the kind of rumor that will come out first.
When they want to increase fuel price, you hear rumor. It is true, it is not true. And then
exactly.
So in the same vein, issues like this reported in some newspapers as true.
Yes.
Some said rumor, confusion, trails, while the Senate and the House of Reps spokesperson have completely denied it.
Okay. What does the presidency say? You also, your paper, I checked your paper out. You people were silent on the matter.
We always report the obvious. Whatever is news.
Not rumor.
Whatever is news, the nation will report it.
And rumor can't be news.
Well, I can tell you that as a serious newspaper organization, we are working on it. We are investigating it. We are on top of the story. And
you're on top of the situation.
On top of the story. I mean, whatever the real news is.
I like how you rejected that.
On top of the story.
On top of the story.
I tell you,
never mind the situation.
Yes,
there are other people that might be on top of that situation.
But
if it is a story, we are on top. The nation is on top of the story.
The nation is on top of it. And we will be the first to break the news when it is news.
When it becomes news.
When it becomes news. We'll break it. For now, we are hearing, and we all understand the ethics of our profession, and we are sticking to it very seriously.
Okay. Well, I don't know. And you see, we too, in TVC, we don't report rumor. But there are some rumors that nevertheless bear commenting on, even if they are rumors. So as the rumor sort of was bringing the story, among the objections rumored that might be concerning the president were things like the astronomical costs for one of this kind of a thing. And so, as I said, it's very murky. We don't know, but we do know, and it probably is irrelevant when they want to increase the price of fuel. As Liborous said, there will be a few rumors that don't have any substance to them whatsoever, in the sense that nobody will provide any evidence.
Yeah, but I would say this kind of thing should not even be a rumor. It's an exchange, or it's supposed to be an exchange between two arms of government. It was public knowledge when the National Assembly took the bill to Mr. President. Now, if there is a communication,
it was also public knowledge when the president wrote to INEC for clarification.
For clarification. So if there is a correspondence or some sort of a communication between the presidency now and the National Assembly, I think it should be clear. It should be clearly spelled out. Not that it should be left in the imagination of the people.
But I think why it is rumor is because of the contending forces for and against direct or indirect primaries. That is why
there is more than direct or indirect primaries in that particular rumor.
Yes, that is why.
Still commenting on the rumor.
Yeah, that's why it is like you people are seated here.
Something has happened.
You shouldn't sit down. Something has happened, because what is at play here is, a force between the governors and the lawmakers. So it is obvious who controls the levers of the party, and why the governors believe indirect primaries should do it. The lawmakers are of the opinion that if you allow indirect primaries, the governors will consistently dictate who goes to the assembly, and so let it be a direct primaries
where they feel they can test their popularity.
So that's what is at play. Why the governors have consistently, since the document moved to the table of the Mr. President, the presumption is that the governors are closer to the president, so they attend meetings, so they are looking around, and so there's a lot going on. And that's why this rumor is that, oh, assembly members, you are seated here. This document is coming back to you, or it has come back to you. If you don't know, you better do something. So that's why I think the rumor is, it's
it's been said that there's a lot of lobbying going on in the presidency. The president, by the way, still has time to either
till the 19th.
Yes, till the 19th to reject or assent to the bill, as the case may be. But so he still has time, and then in the middle of it, this rumor comes out. Again, part of what we're reading is that the president has asked for inputs, from
a bill that the president wants to assent to usually does not take all of this long back and forth.
You see, let me add to what
Liborous
already said, and the fact that I think it is the contending forces that are behind these stories or rumors, as the case may be. Because if you look at it, the National Assembly appears done with the bill. Yeah, it has been sent to Mr. President. It is either this, or the other. You assent to it or you decline. But the president, we had sought further clarification from other agencies, including the Independent National Electoral Commission. You probably got their own input. Yes, we also know the Attorney General was consulted. We are not unaware of the fact that the governors have been offering solicited or unsolicited advices on this same bill. Now, as the case is, the president is fully briefed.
INEC has also been consulted.
And they must provide, obviously have responded. That's what I'm saying. The president is fully briefed. What he intends to do should be a clear-cut communication to the National Assembly. I am signing. No, I want you to go and address these areas. Yeah. Don't forget that indirect primary is not the only content of that.
No, exactly.
So, if indirect primary or direct primary is an issue, it is within his right to write the National Assembly, please address this clause for me to sign this. If that is what he has done, the National Assembly should be able to tell us we have his letter.
But they are not allowing any such.
But they said they don't have it. The spokesperson of the two chambers said we don't have it and we should know. Yes. That's pregnant with meaning. Now, the presidency, the media persons in the presidency have been keeping mum on the matter. It's been on for over 24 hours That's a long time for the presidencies
to deny.
So I think there is more to it.
Let's hear what Reverend Dominic has to say to the matter. Good morning, Reverend Dominic.
Good morning, Yori. Good morning to your two guests.
Indeed.
Good morning.
Yori, I told you last week here that indirect and direct primaries is not issue of contention. I don't know why Nigeria could not hear that. I said, put me on record. The contention is electoral transfer. After the Anambra election, you saw what happened. It was clear to the blind and audible to the deaf that if we continue on this electoral transfer, rigging is buy and buy and buy. So let's use direct and indirect and put down the whole thing down. It happened in third term of Obasanjo. There was a nice work difference then by Naman as president. A nice work. But one pulled everything down. Third term. What you put this electoral law down and everything the government wants is direct and indirect. And to me, I've told you, there's no business with the National Assembly with direct and indirect. It should be left to the political parties to present whoever they want to present. But they have found a lacuna to drag down electronic transfer. I said it last week, and that's the rumor you're hearing today. It is real. Because rumors make more sense in our generation than anything. Thank you.
Right then.
Let me quickly point Reverend Dominic to Section 160 of the Constitution. The Constitution cannot, the Electoral Act cannot supersede the provisions of the Constitution. That section already provides INEC the ground for conducting election in the way and manner they deem fit without interference from the president, and that they can deploy, they can assign, they can delegate to anybody without interference from Mr. President. So whether you amend the Electoral Act to now spell out the powers or not, INEC can still. That was why the Senate in their wisdom, decided to back down on that amendment, because it became obvious that that provision of the Constitution is already, that provision of the law is already embedded in the Constitution. So that would, I don't think that that is the issue here. That is why the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, you know, is in contention. And if you look at all the explanations sought by Mr. President, it was purely on direct or indirect primaries. It was not, there was nothing about electronic transfer on it, because INEC had consistently, even in the last election, when INEC said they had server, it was not an issue, because they already had the constitutional power to so do. Where the issue is the fact that some persons, because you have to first and foremost control the party for you to present candidate at the election that will either win or lose. So what is at play here is some persons believe this party should be in our control, while others says no. And the Senate had consistently, they were very vociferous about it. They said, look, that the quality of debate at the Senate also is affected because of the quality of people that they have. That in some cases you expect some senators to return, and that because they have issues with their governor, they do not return. And some of them also, mind you, some of them will want to contest for governorship in their state, and so they are banking on direct primaries where the governor will not dictate who takes the ticket. So that is the main cross of the matter here.
Yakub, good morning, sir. Mr. Yakub, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, usually.
Thank you for calling.
Mr. Liborous, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Alhaji Yakub.
Yeah, thank you, and then the other gentleman in the studio, good morning.
Dare Odufowokan.
Yes, Mr. Dare.
The famous Dare of Nation newspaper.
Good morning.
Why is it so important to our governor to control the party? If you know as a governor, you did the right thing in your various states, and then you have done something that wants the citizens of your state to vote for you, or to vote for whoever they need. You should not be agitating that it must be indirect primary, because direct primary is way to go. If you are a station whereby a senator from a state or as a representative from one state has an issue with the governor of that state, and then the governor may look at that very particular senator or rep and tell him or her that you are not going to go back to that National Assembly. Why is he saying so? Because he knows that he has the power to control the party. And then what's that power? The resources. What's that resources? The resources me and you. The resources that belong to ordinary citizens. Because a situation whereby the governor said that I'm doing this contract, and then they will inflate the contract in order for them to get. Another thing is this, security. The security force. I keep saying this. I think Mr. Liborous will share light to this. The security force. Who are those people that the governor is accounting to? Because those are the resources that they are using in order for us to be able to follow them, whether we like it or not. So the way to go is direct primary, because direct primary will give citizens to choose whoever they want. So if you know that you are a good governor, you don't need to be afraid of anything.
Okay.
So somebody like Governor of Borno State, Sulumu, I think today Sulumu will not say that indirect primary is way to. He will say whatever you like, choose it, because he's a performing governor. The Lagos State governor is a performing governor. So whether they like it or not, the senator, the House of Representatives, they should go take direct primary. And then lastly, Chief Justice, Mr. Liborous, I want you to attend to this. If Mr. President fails to attend to this bill, does it give the House of Representatives and Senate House a veto power to veto Mr. President and pass that bill into law? God bless you, sir.
All right, then. Well, a lot that you put in there. Thank you very much for calling in. But, you know, the president must necessarily consider a whole gamut of issues, you know, when he's looking at it, and then, you know, in his own judgment, take the best course of action. Now, one of the things that was in contention in the build-up to the completion of work and submission to the presidency was the whole matter about how expensive direct primaries are.
More assumed, I'll use the word, assumed to be more expensive than indirect primaries. But as a politician, I mean, as a journalist who has covered politicians over the years, I'll tell you that argument is not fast. Nobody can put it in actual figures that this is how or the difference in expense. Because I tell you, indirect primaries can turn out to be more expensive in the sense that these same politicians they decide the number of delegates that they want, and then they give out chunks of money to this same set of delegates to do their bidding. However, in the case of direct primary, the people can decide, and usually decide to vote because they are convinced. It is only when you offer money that you try to influence them. So I, as somebody who has been on the field with these politicians, will tell you, politicians and political parties will spend less on direct primary in the long run, over time, when we get used to the system and the people understand the kind of power they hold in their hand and how expensive that power is, more than 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. They stop collecting the money, politicians stop spending, and everybody starts relying on performance.
Okay.
What have you done for us to return you? And to have to quickly to respond to what the last speaker said, and looking at, he has a question, why do governors want to control parties? He spoke like a senior citizen, an elder statesman. He didn't speak like a politician. And I'm sure he's not one. Because to every politician, the control of the party machinery determines how far you can go in politics. A governor who can decide the fate of returning rep member and senator can assure his own return ticket. It's as simple as that. Okay. Beyond wanting to control that, he also wants to assure his own. But then the governor who is leaving office as governor wants to go to the Senate.
Yes.
He also wants to have the power to pocket that, even if you are just doing one term as the current senator. He wants to let you know that I'm interested in taking your seat. So, and you start looking for what else to do. Those are their reasons.
Mr. Joshua, thank you very much for holding on all this while. Go ahead, please, in Irewolide.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to your guests.
Sure.
Good morning.
For the first time, I think I'm concerned about Nigeria on two fronts. I don't want us to have a situation where we have a president who is in charge. That will be very disastrous for us, especially towards the tail end of the tenure of this president. We have had so much issues concerning his presidency. And I think that I'm sure people in government are listening to your program, that it is time for the president of this nation to bequeath a legacy of good leadership to Nigeria. And that is going to happen through our electioneering process. So I want to appeal to whoever Nigeria has been wicked up. They should stop all this secrecy. Talk clearly to us. Make things very, very open and stop making us guess about things. Secondly, the citizens of this country, you see, we will never get this nation right until we kill corruption. We, the citizens of this country, should realize that it is our destiny that is at stake. Politicians will come and go. Nigeria remains. Our children remain. What is this 5,000 naira, Uyori? What is this 15,000 naira? Compared to the school fees people are now paying, compared to hospital bills. For 1 year we were locked down and people could not have business. Now we have to survive. Politicians cannot help, pastor cannot help, priest cannot help, native doctor cannot help. We were all at our mercy. If we don't decide what is right for us in this nation, we will perish. And I hope it will not happen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Joshua. Coming over to you, Liborous, our man who called in from Yanopaja, Alhaji Yakub, he left you a number of assignments, but yes. I don't know if you want to attend to that. But again, listening directly to what has just been said by Mr. Joshua, he said he's just yearning for that day when we will be spoken to plainly, clearly, without ambiguity, it wouldn't be politics anymore.
Three things I drew from Mr. Joshua and Haji Yakub. What is at play here is if politics is not introduced at the tail end, the National Assembly might override Mr. President, and that would be a turning point for this presidency. An assembly that defers to you consistently. The day they now start overriding you, also telling you that we have the powers to pass this law, even without your assent. Because I know for sure that as it is now, they will be counting days.
Yes.
Since it's the National Assembly against the governors. And if the National Assembly is ready to go the whole hog, the only way the presidency can stop it would be to introduce sentiment into it. And you know, here, once you introduce party sentiment, but they were unanimous on the issue.
In this bill.
Passing the bill. They were very unanimous and across party lines because it is something that affects them. And then secondly, the only way people don't understand that in Nigeria, you are not a human being except government says you are a human being. Yes, you are not educated.
You made up that theory, but
I'll break it down for you. Mr. Yori, Uncle Yori, sorry. As you are here now, the day the government issues a paper and says from today you are declared persona non grata, everybody will avoid you, whether rightly or wrongly. The day the government issues a paper and say TVC is hereby banned, God forbid, we will just make noise and it will stand. The next thing.
Why are you making these horrible examples?
But I'm trying to tell you is that
you agree with him that he didn't make that up.
What I'm trying to tell you,
no, he didn't make that up. In fact, it is often said that
I am trying to drive it down so that people will understand.
Governments are taught to be able to play both fair and foul.
Yeah, that's so that people will understand the import of governance. So you don't allow anyhow people to go there. Because if you allow anyhow people to go there, these people can take decisions that will be self-serving, that would affect everybody. And so that's why the rest of us, that is what Mr. Joshua is saying. What is 5,000 naira? They give you 5,000 naira, they go there and they increase school fees arbitrarily. You have no choice.
Okay.
And then
moment,
for election.
I beg your pardon. Yemi in Lagos is on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just need to ask the lawyer in the office to clear something. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask, has there been any amendments to the Electoral Act after 2015? Because I could remember before 2015 election, there was this thing around that they cannot use anything electronic to admit Nigerian election.
There was an amendment. There was an amendment to Section 160. Yes, there was an amendment to it.
Yes,
so,
there
was. Because what you were saying,
the Constitution, not even the Electoral Act. The Constitution.
Yeah, because I just want to be clear about because you said something now which could mislead people, but you cleared it now because you said INEC go on with the electronic transmission and admit it. So if there has been an amendment to it, which is okay for me. Okay.
Yes, the Constitution it was amended, Section 160. It allows INEC to conduct election in the way and manner they deem fit, deploy any means. Because then I know the Senator Odomaegbe opposed even the usage of electronic card readers. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, it was defeated on the floor of the National Assembly and it was amended just before that election. That was why INEC mooted the idea of even, introducing server or no server during the 2015 election. Initially, they were the one that said they were going to deploy server. Eventually, they said they don't have server. But so what I'm trying to say is that no matter
okay then, thank you very much, Yemi.
We also need to understand that no matter how beautifully crafted these laws are, they are not self-executory. It is human beings that will execute them. As I speak to you now, next month, about 5 national commissioners are retiring from INEC. What even led to it? We have
Is it next month?
National
Commission.
Oh,
yes, national commissioners.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What even led
Because
to it
those
was
5 guys, I think,
this.
who are the people that were supposed to have retired? That it has come into effect December 6th.
One had, yes, no, sorry, it is they've retired.
They have retired.
Yes, they have.
It's not ahead.
And what even led to it? That's at the inception of this administration, they waited for, some of them retired, and then they waited for like 2 years before these national commissioners were nominated and appointed. And so we're suffering the fate now. As we speak now, also as we're looking at the Electoral Act amendment, no matter how beautiful the provisions are, if you appoint party people like Loretta Onoche into INEC, at the end of the day, all the beautifully crafted laws will amount to naught. Because the people that will execute that, if you look at the amendment or the innovation that INEC had introduced, it is not the partisan people that Goodluck Jonathan introduced or appointed into National Assembly that introduced those beautiful innovations. It is those people with credibility, people like Professor Olorode, you know, people like Mike Igini, people like Jega, that were appointed even without the government knowing them. So also, as we're discussing electoral amendment, whether direct primaries or indirect primaries, if you do not have credible people in INEC, all of this will come to naught.
Okay, we've got to go to a break now. Stay with us, please, because it's an interesting, shall we say rumor, because in the absence of fact that we're looking at. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back now. So we're looking at the prospect of the electoral bill amendment on the president's desk being sent back to the National Assembly for whatever reason. Again, when we say for whatever reason, that's because the presidency itself hasn't been forthright in speaking on the matter, and as has been observed, an important matter like this, you can expect that the presidency would have. But then a number would have commented by now. Any one of quite a number of guys in the presidency there that are media people could have spoken on the matter, but so far, nothing. Again, since if it is not fact, koro, then you have to consign it to the bin of rumor. Yes. For now.
And keep investigating it.
While this rumor is being investigated.
Yes.
But the National Assembly people who should know say nothing has come to them so far. But the issues, we've spoken about the issues. There is more in that Electoral Act amendment. Yeah. There's more in it than the whole matter of direct or indirect primaries. But it would appear that, that is a major force that people, are going to want to talk about. Reverend Dominic has called in to say that's not it, that if you look at it carefully, there are other aspects to it. Well, we don't know. But there is the prospect, and that was brought up, that since the National Assembly was unanimous in passing this bill, these kind of indications we are getting, although emphasized again, still in the realm of rumors, these kind of indications we're getting can be overridden by the National Assembly. Yes. And it will be the first time.
Yeah, it will be the first time. And
if it were to happen.
If it were to happen and then it will be very, very interesting and peculiar if it happens at this time.
Yes.
Because like Barrister said, we have a presidency and a National Assembly that had very robust relationship over time, almost 6 years of
harmonious relationship.
In fact, more harmonious than what we expect.
Than some would have liked.
Yes.
That is, there should be some contention between the executive and the legislature.
Yeah. But, so if we now have to get to a point where the same National Assembly, the leadership has not changed, we will now say, look, we are overriding you. It will go a long way to tell us, one, that democracy is actually growing. Two, that we can actually have a National Assembly in Nigeria that we will be proud of and we'll be able to say, let the issue go to them and they will do justice. But while we are hoping that it will get to that, for me as a journalist who wants to record history, I wake up every day hoping that something historical will happen so that when I finally retire from this job, I'll be able to talk about this.
I was on that story.
I was on that bit. For me, I just want this to go the whole hog. I want Mr. President to have his very good reasons for not signing. And I want the National Assembly to have their very good reasons of saying, no, this should be. Then what will happen? We'll test our books.
Yes.
We have our books telling us what will happen. Some years back, we were faced with the doctrine of necessity. It never happened before.
Yes.
But that's something I'm very proud of that happened while I was on the beat. I want this to also go. Let's test our books. Let's see if actually, after the president is overridden, nothing else will happen.
Okay.
We've not tested that.
Benga in Abuja, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning, the guest there.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in, sir.
Well, we have here the news that the president rejected the bill, and the counter news that it was not so. And the paper that reported this is one of the leading papers in Nigeria. And I'm now asking, who is behind that, and what do you want to achieve if it is not true that the president rejected that thing? I think that should be looked into. Look at it, there are some fifth columnists.
What if it is
who
true?
want confusion in this country? Because the president has come to that the president have not rejected it, he has not signed, and he has not rejected it.
No, the president has not spoken.
No. Sorry, Benga, have you heard any statement from the presidency yet?
It was in the paper that the president
National Assembly
that allegation that or whichever way
the National Assembly
is that the news should come out when something is genuine. We are all Nigerians. There are some stakeholders in this and can create a lot of confusion. That's by the way. I see direct primaries are the way to go. And it is the parties to organize it. It will not cost the nation any money. APC have been doing it in some areas. So what is the issue? There should not be as of 500 billion naira for this. Where is that coming from again?
Okay.
They say INEC denied it. What I'm saying, some people are just somewhere trying to create confusion about this. And this time will stop those things. Because by the time they bring that news out, they can even discourage the president from signing such a bill. Let's investigate.
They can browbeat him to signing it also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Benga, for calling in and making that observation. One other way to look at it is, are there fifth columnists at work? Definitely. Look at the NSAS report. Who leaked that report? Who leaked that NSAS report?
It's common thing for people to test.
No, who leaked that report? You see, I'm just remembering that
Benga was leaked by someone who wanted to test the waters.
So is this similar?
Yes,
is this similar?
Journalists will see it from that point of view. The journalists try on the news. Let's test the water. And so in testing the water, it might stop him from signing. It might browbeat him into signing it. So since he's been waiting, let us come up with a story that he has rejected it, because
and then he will
if he wants to sign, he won't wait this long.
But can papers be that irresponsible?
It is not the
paper. It is not the paper. It's somebody. But another thing also, sorry, quickly, Dare.
Yes,
another thing also we should also understand is that even the opposition party, it's in sync with the position of the governors that direct primaries is too expensive. They have maintained that position. Some of them have said no.
And even in relation to the rumor, they have said that they will not comment on rumors.
They will wait for what the president wants to say.
They will wait for the president to say something.
They had said it's like conducting a general election before the general election. But APC also had said, look, even in 2018, in August 2018, we conducted a direct primaries for the presidential candidates.
Yes.
And so, if direct primaries was conducted, who is now afraid of direct primaries?
Who do I have on the line? There's another person on the line. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Emmanuel. Good morning, Emmanuel in Abuja.
No, Mohammed from Abuja.
Mohammed. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Yes,
Mohammed.
from Abuja, yes.
Good morning,
yes,
sir. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I greet you against all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to align myself with the INEC.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I heard you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, INEC say primary election is purely the duties of party.
Yeah.
Party are the one responsible for primary election.
Yeah.
So they don't have any right to go and give a party their directives to either conduct direct or indirect primaries. So whether they say president has rejected or not, that issue is settled. INEC has said, because this lawyer said that INEC have right to conduct election either directly or indirectly. They have
No. Mohammed, check it out. Check it out, Mohammed, check it out.
No, I didn't say INEC has powers to conduct direct or indirect primaries for political parties. No. I said the general elections. The general election. INEC have powers to conduct the election in the way and manner, whether to use electronic. Because somebody said
inclusive primary election.
No.
They don't have control.
They don't have control over primary elections.
No, that's not true.
That is what I'm saying. That is why they came out. They clear yesterday that only the parties have right. Only
even with the amendment.
Primary election.
Even with the
amendment, INEC is not to conduct. INEC is to observe, supervise the election.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. We are saying the same thing. We are saying the same thing. We are saying the same thing. What I'm saying is that INEC cleared yesterday that only parties have right to conduct their primaries.
Yes,
which is true. Either direct or indirect.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So the issue of president should not come up in that manner.
Okay.
President doesn't have right to make National Assembly to amend the constitution for parties to conduct direct primary or indirect primary.
I think
the president has no right.
This whole thing conflicted.
It's only parties that have right.
Okay.
So we should put more matter aside.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Mohammed.
I think I need to quickly explain some things.
I wanted to ask, without prejudice to what has just been said, it's up to the parties to determine how they want to go.
That has been the provision.
That has been the provision.
That I know
now. When there is an amendment,
the amendment now, before the president, it's written in, isn't it?
Yes.
Direct primaries is the way to go.
Let's be
thereby
clear.
taking indirect off the table altogether.
Exactly.
Taking of the choice they have.
Yes.
You can't legislate the mode of elections of political parties. Truly, let's be fair to ourselves. Political parties should be able to determine
what they want,
whether direct or indirect. The only thing is that comply with the rules and regulations as laid down by the umpire.
Yes.
So this idea,
that's what was in
what is generating controversy now is this idea of railroading them in one direction without a choice. So that is where the problem is.
I want to ask: is that wrong, or from the perspective of the law? Because I've had arguments that it's an infringement.
It is wrong. Right. It is wrong, really. Yeah. But that's why I tell people this has nothing to do with you and I. It's about the gladiators. It is wrong to tell political parties that you must conduct election this way,
which is what the amendment does.
Which is what the amendment is saying. What should be let the political party determine whether direct or indirect. It should be either direct or indirect, as determined by the political.
So from what you are saying, from what you are saying now, Liborous, from what you are saying, yes. From what
does not even make it compulsory that it has to be an election.
Exactly.
Because you have to nominate your candidates.
So if, for example, now you have a small political party,
direct primary, it means it must be
a small political party wants to choose its presidential candidate. Will not have to conduct direct election in all the states of the federation. So when we discuss this thing, we don't reckon with the smaller political parties that do not have those kind of structures.
Because the smaller political parties do not have representatives. So where the issues are being discussed.
So what should happen? What normally happens for the smaller parties is they converge in Abuja or in a state determined by them, and then they nominate their candidate. But when you now say it must be direct primaries, so what that means is you will go and conduct elections, direct elections, to nominate the candidate in every state of the federation.
Okay, Mazi Okorafo, thank you for holding on. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Liborous, my brother journalist.
Good morning.
You see,
Dare Odufowokan.
Compliments of the Christmas season.
Thank you very much.
Now, the thing is this: direct or no direct, what we need is credible election, transparent, whether Nigeria like it or not. But the question now is this rumor or no rumor. In Nigeria today, when we hear rumor,
They told us Omicron is not in Nigeria. Later, they told Omicron is in Nigeria. But the question is this: let Nigerian government, the judicial system, advise the presidency and the National Assembly the needful for us to follow what is right for generality of the populace. Because now, if you say the president is still the electoral is still hanging, it will now bring another attention for people during this Christmas. They say, what is happening in Nigeria? 2023 is around the corner. Electoral bill not signed. What is the plan for the political parties? Before he talks about Robinson, we're already in 2022. 2022 to 2023 it's not far. I'm just calling on the presidency, please, as a matter of urgency, sign the electoral act into the attempt so that Nigeria
and then write to the National Assembly for an amendment.
At the end of 2021, we know that this is what we have achieved for 2021. If it's not signed, we carry it forward. It's another elongation, which is not healthy for Nigeria. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, everybody. I congratulate my brother, Mosano Ben Ovidio, as his clock 50 years as a Catholic priest. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Mazi slipped in something there. It's
Yes,
all right. It's all right.
yes.
It's all right. But as Liborous was saying, he's a man of the law, and as we also know, they can overrule. The National Assembly
they
can overrule.
To avoid that situation, the president can assent to the bill, because you have other laudable and beautiful provisions. You can assent to the bill and then now write to the National Assembly to amend that section, that particular section of the clause,
which will then be considered by the Assembly
again.
But would it be under compulsion?
That's the word to amend.
Yes.
It's an executive bill. If you introduce it will be debated.
And if they don't like it and they say no,
they don't like it and they say no,
but it can call attention.
Yes, to it, so that it doesn't look as if after all of this back and forth.
I think the whole issue of direct or the indirect, my take is the National Assembly debated it thoroughly, and they took a decision. Mr. President should, in my opinion, understand the fact that either rightly or wrongly, willingly or unwillingly, we elected those people to make laws for us. That should be topmost in
that they are the representatives of the people.
Yeah, because even during the debate, they had a committee stage where stakeholders made
exactly.
And then
Mr. Lucky in Abuja. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mr. Lucky from Abuja.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go right ahead, quickly, please.
Yes, please. Of this direct and indirect primary. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Before now, 1999 to date.
Stop listening to yourself.
It has either been direct or indirect.
Yes.
Or consensus.
Yes.
The question is, why will the National Assembly now remove consensus and indirect? You understand? You are tying down the hands of the party. You understand, Mr. Oshoma?
Yes, I
know. The 1999 date, it has been 3 options. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much, because I think you're listening to yourself and it's lengthening our time. But I think I heard the point what you're saying is that what was wrong with the status quo?
Yeah, but quickly,
why do we want to change it?
Permit me to quickly chip this in because of time.
Okay.
If the police authorities are listening to me, the NSAS, we are still battling the NSAS report, whether there was a massacre or no massacre. The government had renamed and rechristened NSAS to SWAT. As I speak SARS. Okay, sorry, SARS.
Well,
SARS to SWAT.
Well, there's a group. No.
Department
government said that
SWAT.
one was cancelled.
Okay, but there is still a department.
And then they formed a new one.
They just built a new one.
They just built a new one without any vestiges of NSAS.
The behavior of this new one is even worse than the old one.
How do you mean?
Last night, a client of mine, 2 of them, were coming back from the market at about 9 p.m. on that Adeniji Adele.
In Lagos?
Yes, in Lagos here. They were accosted by some policemen who said they were SWAT from Abuja on stop and search. They said they saw two...
SWAT in Abuja, on Adeniji Adele in Lagos?
Yes, that IG Extension, IG Monitoring Team in Adeniji Police Station.
Okay.
And they said they saw 2 handkerchiefs with this young man, and then immediately they labeled him a ritualist. Seized their phones, kept them incommunicado, held them. If not for the intervention of, you know, if you know police, you have to call police that you know. If not for the intervention of some other policemen, eventually they released them this morning. I wonder what would have happened if those young men do not know anybody, because immediately they called their brother. When they heard them, the policeman allowed him call one person. So in the course of bargaining, and the man said, look, I don't have anything to give. They are just coming back from the shop. So why? Because you saw a handkerchief in somebody's pocket.
This is a problem.
So I can imagine what the average Nigerian, the average young boy on the street will go through. So for me,
you know, even though this is a segue, but still, it's important that you can be arrested because you have 2 white handkerchiefs.
Christmas season,
you happen to have 2 white handkerchiefs.
Season, you can even be arrested for having nothing.
Because we have to be serious.
That's even another drama. What I want to add to what he has said, and confirm the fact that we need to quickly stem the tide of what this new team is capable of doing.
Well,
in Ikorodu, about 2 weeks ago, I was driving around Ikorodu roundabout, and I saw these men in black. They were not in police uniform. Black top, black jean, and they jumped down from a small combi bus, ran after 2 young men, who one of them actually had a weird-looking hairstyle. The other one was holding a very big phone, and they started dragging them, parked their own bus in the middle of the road, and created a scene that some of them had to come down. What is that? They were forcing the boys into the bus, and the boys refused. And we asked them, what's the offense? They said they suspect that they are Yahoo boys. And they said, by men looking at them,
well, this is a problem.
Allowed?
Well, it's good that
we need to really start making issues out of this.
This one is not a rumor. We've almost run out of time, but this is not a rumor.
This is not a rumor.
This is something that a journalist has just said that this one is an eyewitness. I saw it. Liborous is talking about my clients.
Yes.
Well, Adeniji police station probably need to hear about this.
Yes,
and
they
make
know.
Whatever they know.
That's
they
why
know
I called
about
the
it.
name of Adeniji. They said SWAT in Adeniji Adele police station.
Oh dear.
The DPO is aware, but he said
we're
these
going to have
people
to leave
are
it
not
here.
under his control.
That's what they say now.
That's what they say now.
Because
we've got to leave it here. We've run out of time. We've run out of time. We looked at one rumor and then we ended up with one that is not a rumor at all, because a lawyer was involved here, a journalist was involved. So these are eyewitness accounts. That's all I ask for. Give me eyewitness accounts. Then we can do something with it. Well, we're going to have to leave it here. That's our program today. Thank you very much for staying with us. We'll meet, God willing, on Monday. Perhaps the field will be a bit clearer as to what exactly is going on with the Electoral Act Amendment Bill.
The rumor will become news.
Yes, maybe the rumor will become news over the weekend. So in the meantime, do have a great weekend. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.